Hey y'all,
Hey guys.
we are
Hello,
back.
hello. Welcome.
Your lips popping, boo.
Thanks, boo. You
I
know what?
ain't,
It makes my teeth whiter. Ha! I should do a Colgate commercial.
I
Thanks,
ain't,
Mom.
I'm not doing all that.
Okay, sorry.
But
It's a bit much.
I do have on my everywhere loungewear. I don't know if I don't want to not to show
I
y'all.
mean, are you showing everywhere or are you showing cleavage? Which one are you showing?
Yeah, don't try it. Don't
I'm just saying.
try it. So try it. I just want to know. My baby, my grown baby, started a
Yes.
clothing line,
Let's go, Miss Page.
and I'm gonna put it in the chat so that y'all can see where y'all can go to. Y'all can go to everywhere official, if I could spell it.com. There you go.
Go get you some athleisure wear. Go
Athlete,
get it.
go get
Go
it.
get it.
And in this quarantine time, that's really all we wearing is I stay in line clothes and leggings. So yeah. So how do you feel about tonight? Our topic tonight, y'all. We're gonna wait till some people come in the room. Or we're gonna ask y'all to, so we're gonna ask you, did we share it to you? I don't know. Can you see it on your page?
Can I see what? Oh,
Is
you talking to the people, not me?
I'm talking to you.
Oh, what you say?
Can you see it on your page? Is it so it says going live soon? So the people should be able to see it on your page.
Yeah, they should be. I'm not sure. I'm not on that page, but I can't I
Mhm.
can't see it. You know, I always have technical difficulties, so I don't even bother with it.
And we don't have none tonight, but we gonna get you a little bit more some more technology.
And then somebody's gonna have to figure it out for me because you know I'm not tech savvy.
It's a computer. Like get a computer, an iPad, and a phone. And know your logins to all your stuff.
The shade that you put out here for people that I tell you when we off camera, you know
It's
I
the
don't
same,
know what it
it's
is. You
the
know I don't know.
same type of shade I would say to you off camera. But anywho.
Just
So what we talking
shade.
about tonight?
We are talking about people who like ourselves who are single,
Mhm.
right? And now have transitioned over to the married life. A
That sounds like
a
so rough.
a
Transition. Like it's
transition. I mean, like went to the upper room. Not that, but I mean, like they were single and now they're married, and we're gonna talk about what does that look like.
so
What does
have you ever been engaged?
Never been engaged, never had somebody love me enough to want to put up with all this.
It sounds so
That
bad.
does sound so horrible, doesn't it?
It really does. But let's right. I've been engaged to before.
Really? Hold on.
I still have my engagement ring.
Do share.
You don't want to see it because it's probably, I mean, it was from 20 some years ago, but it's still a diamond.
I'm
It's a
about to say
small,
it's the thought
it's
that
a
counts,
small
sis.
one.
The
It's
thought that counts.
So I have been engaged to before, but as you can see, I'm single and that didn't work out. So, but yeah, we're going to pull in two people that I think are just utterly amazing and they're a part of my life.
Amazing.
So, and they're just amazing women, and they once were single, and I actually knew them when they were single, and I now know them as they're married.
But the thing is, do they have like brothers, cousins?
Nah, no, well, no, because he just got married. The one that had a brother got married. Now
You know what?
we're not available no more. So that's
Hold on.
cousins. Now I don't know about cousins. We got asked though. We got asked about the cousins. I don't know about. I ain't never asked about the cousins. I'm even willing to date an older uncle at this point.
So this is my thing, right? Before we get the people on, I don't, because this is single T, I do not date anybody that is close to their 50s. If you are 48
Oh,
on, don't
that's
talk to me.
I'm,
I'm sorry.
I'm in my 40s. You tried it.
No. I'm 38. You're 48. I'm sorry. My preference is I'm not about to talk to you. You were 10 when I was just coming out the womb.
This may be a little shade to the men though, just a little bit. If they 48, technically they probably only 32.
Wait.
Yeah, in the mind. In the mind.
Oh, okay. Say that. I was like, what?
In the mind.
Because I wasn't getting it.
No
I
shade.
wasn't getting it, sis.
No shade. No shade. But y'all know that's the truth.
All of the shade.
So, we're gonna bring them in. Bring them in. Bring them in.
And that bring them out?
Oh, I don't know.
Wow.
We can't say too much stuff because they be blocking stuff on social media.
Exactly.
So, we have tonight with us Erica Dyson and Jamia Chiles. Again, once single, now
married.
It's the bird. We're gonna add them on there.
Hello. Look,
y'all are best.
Hey guys.
Hey.
Welcome to Single Tea. Welcome.
Thank you.
I don't think I'm ready.
Yeah.
You are.
ready.
You ready?
Should be ready.
Erica, what you sipping
Ready
on?
because you got the Erica glass. You ready?
I'm sipping on water. Water. That's what I'm sipping on.
Turn water to wine. You can turn water to tea.
I mean, water to, you know.
Exactly.
Okay. I got my Chick-fil-A tea. I don't know.
True. Too. You know why? Because I was just too lazy to go wash a mug.
Come on. The name is called Single Tea.
I'm be single. We're gonna get it today. I'm not gonna be drinking her.
You could at least perpetrate.
Look.
I couldn't. I just feel like doing that. So shout out to both y'all for having our teacups. I mean, we gonna be because it's the way the screen set up. See, I got the blackness and the black and we full screen.
Let's not. I just
made that make sense.
On to Single Tea. Welcome.
All right. So as you all know, we are very, very single. And
you ain't had to say it like that though.
Single people tend to be like, why are we single? And we will one day like to be married. Again, both of you all in your single times. I'm not gonna tell any stories because I don't want to embarrass either one of you. So I'm just saying.
Let me go get some pearls to clutch. Because what you won't do is you're not going to say that. You're not going to imply nothing either. That's what you won't do.
I feel pretty safe, I think.
Do you now?
She probably is real. She probably is real safe. The other one over here that's below
me. This is amazing.
So
look.
So we are really in a place in our lives where, most women at our age are like, will it ever happen? Should it ever happen? What are we doing to not make it happen? I remember all this because y'all know I'm just talking off or whatever. How hard was it to get there? How hard was it to stay there? Just stuff like that. And I'm probably gonna throw out some more questions. More likely, when more people come in the room, they're gonna have questions too, and they just throwing them out. But being single is not easy, but also her being married is not easy either.
Absolutely.
So I'm just going to, Dakota, do you want to add anything?
Other than the fact of having a warm body touch your leg, I'm just saying that part.
That's cuffing season right about now. That's
what I'm saying. Like I'm scouting for cuffing season. I haven't even been scouting to cuff. Okay. I don't know if I'm supposed to do the cuffing.
Talk about that. Are we supposed to be scouting the cuff? Because
that's what I was just asked. Like, are we supposed to be scouting the cuff? Like,
is that a question? Are you asking us? Or is this like?
This is just a general question. Like,
because I was gonna say, so as far as the warm body is concerned, for babies, what they do is they get a sock and put some beans in it and warm it up, and then they just place it so they can feel like the warm body is there. But if the singleness, if that's all you want to get married for, then maybe I don't know.
Yeah, that ain't it, sis.
It's not it.
Like, okay, well, maybe my priorities.
It's just your understanding, not even understanding how you might be categorizing marriage or what you want it to be may not be what it actually is. So
you're trying to say I got like a fantasy of marriage in my head? Is it like fantasy?
What we're saying is that's a component of it, but that is by far not everything marriage is at all.
Sometimes you don't want
to me,
to.
I'm trying to get where y'all are.
Come on, Jamia.
Sometimes the warm body, you be like, I'm good. Okay, bye and good night.
I think that we get that, like, okay, well, as single people, I know we pretty much have the fantasy of it all. Like, like I want somebody to go to the movies with. I want somebody to vacation with. I want somebody to be booed up with or whatever.
The whole companionship thing.
Yeah. But once you get
that, here's the thing. So it is not a situation where it's like, but that either one of us, and I'm not speaking for Jamia, but I know we're on the same page with this. We're not saying that it's all anything. It's not all wonderful. It's not all bad. It's definitely not. The good things about marriage are absolutely real. They exist. It is attainable. It's not like some, big mystical thing that cannot be attained. But I think it's important, like when you're single, and I think we do this with everything. Anything that we fantasize, when you fantasize about things, it's literally that. All of the good, like fluffy, fun, non-serious parts of anything. That's when you fantasize about anything, no matter what it is. A man, the ideal job, the ideal whatever. That's what we're talking about. Ideals is totally different. But I think that when you're thinking about marriage, you have to really understand that. And I say this a lot, and I know that Christians in general say this, and I'm not making this about like church or anything, but I want to say this. We say the term a lot, like die to self, right? We have to die to self if we're really living for Christ and all this stuff. Honestly, it's the same thing in your marriage. Like, honestly, you wake up, and I'm not even being funny or being shitty. When I wake up, a lot of times the first thing I'm thinking about is, my husband, or do I need to go do something for him? Did I forget to do something? What's on the schedule for today? Stuff like that. And so sometimes while you can fantasize about all the beautiful things, it is really not about you.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of the time.
It's kind of like parenting.
Very much.
Not parenting. What I mean? It's like, yup.
Yeah. No, but I was literally thinking like, you get used to your child living with you. They go away, they come back or whatever, and you be like, why are you doing that? Like, you in my space. Like, you set up your whatever, or even when you don't have kids and then you have kids and you are used to a certain way of living and it's not that anymore and you have to get used to it. It's the same thing with marriage. Like, you might have kicked it over his house or y'all, spent whatever y'all did, but you can leave. Y'all can't leave now because y'all together. And so when the dirty sock or the dirty dish is hanging off the thing or the cabinet is still open, and I'm talking about some stuff that I do that I know that irritates him. Like, I don't know why I can't get it together. I open a cabinet and I can't close it. Like, typically, I feel like a lot of our role reversal things that like a lot of the women complain about the men doing, I do. Like, oh well.
Mm-hmm.
You like just when you walk by it, just close it. Like, okay, if it's like like little things that you just got to deal with, and you really got to die to stuff, and then you got to ask yourself, like, is it really that serious? It's a cabinet open, and if you want to close it. But we have these.
I think that's gonna always be my argument. Like, don't you see it open? Just close it. Just
But you know what? It's never that simple.
How do you learn how to communicate that without starting something else?
Without all that
rolling, neck rolling, or whatever. So one thing my therapist asked me was, because she knows that I'm a shopper, so her analogy for me was, are you willing to give up some of your closet space? And I was like,
right.
She was asking me if I was ready. So, are you willing to give us some of your closet space? I'm like, yo, this house ain't big enough. This house, you want to buy a big house. This house not big enough for him.
I don't have no closet.
It really allowed me to identify, like, Sharice, are you ready to share your space with somebody? Like, all of your space, like, you got to make room for him, or, in that regard, I feel like it's just easier to just buy a house and be like, this is ours. And
but you would still have issues. It wouldn't, and I don't mean issues. I'm talking about even specifically with that, it would still be issues.
Really?
Yeah, because the compromise here's the thing. In marriage, the idea of compromise follows every aspect of what y'all do. Every single aspect. Like, and even when you say, like, how do you communicate with like the issues and stuff like that, or the petty stuff? Honestly, we're human. So some days it's just like, you know, like Jamia, you could be like, you know what, today I did not close the stupid cabinet. He did get an attitude with me, but instead of me giving it back, I'm gonna eat it. I ain't gonna say nothing smart. I'm not even gonna say you could have closed it. I'm just gonna let it be peaceful. And then there's some days when the tolerance to do that is not existent or it's real low, and you can find yourself feeling like you at World War III over something as small as that. Because again, your everyday moments, life, a lot of it is spent together. I mean, you know, and I don't like literally all the time, but I'm saying like it is literally the joining of two lives, two people, two worlds together, like in real life.
Two styles, two ways of doing things.
Yeah.
So let's go to the fix your face. This is not.
What? She can't get off problem. It's okay. She's like, I don't want to ever get married.
Yeah, because that warm body thing, like,
look,
I'm like Erica, like it's a part of it, and I
just in my mind, right? How I think, like I want to get there. Like I'm not gonna say that's every woman's dream is to be married because it's not.
Right.
But for me, I do want to get there, right? However, I'm just like that whole die to self thing, that whole you taking over my closet, that whole, oh, I didn't close the cabinet when you right there, you could have closed it. Like, Father, just help me, Lord.
Well, let me ask you this, Shakenda. How would you, in any past relationship, just in general, how would you describe yourself? Like, just, and when I say that, I mean, like, just throw out some characteristics. Like, how do you think you present in a relationship? Like, in terms of what you offer and give your partner.
Oh, not that's a good one, because I don't know.
But what you give.
I think
like,
what do you...
Okay, so we're going to dial that back a little bit. Because that's, I'm not, you're amazing. But what I'm saying is we're going to dial that on back to reality, and then I'm going to ask again. So, in the midst of your perfection, if you could pick out, I mean, hello, it's like, no, but like, what do you think you bring? Like, what do you think you offer? Like, who are you in a relationship? Not about what you want, but like what you give. Or, you know what, no, I'm going to ask you differently. What would past partners say about you in terms of how you are in a relationship?
I'm very forgiving. I forgive a lot.
They would say this? I just want to clarify.
They would say that.
Okay.
Yeah. I am very forgiving. I am a helper. I'm an empathizer. Is it empathizer?
Or you just empathetic?
We know what you mean.
Empathetic.
Yeah, y'all know what I mean. This is Orleans Parish. Never mind. What else? Wow. That's a good question, Erica. Dang.
I think, well, Reese, what you got, Reese? I'm just curious. Same question.
One more time.
What would past
Were
partners
you listening?
say about you in terms of how you are in a relationship? Like what you bring to it and kind of like the benefits of being in a relationship. What would they say? Not you, but what would they say?
I'm romantic. I listen. And I'm good at compromising.
Okay, so not so much with your friends, but I did say relationship.
No,
Dang.
No, I'm playing.
I don't really deviate too far from my friendships and my relationships for real, other than adding the romantic side. So literally, I don't deviate too much. My communication may be a little different, but it's not too far off.
Okay, that's something. I am an over communicator. Like, I know that may sound crazy, but
no, I'm just
I tend to over communicate. Like, I want to know what's going on. I want to know what's wrong with you. I want you to explain all of those things to me. Like,
so then imagine, so let's take that example. So imagine you marry a man or you fall in love with a man, right? Who maybe he has a lot of great things about him or whatever, but let's say he is the complete opposite of you in terms of communication style. You are a let's talk, I want to talk about it. I want to get it out. And I can relate to that, honestly. Like, let's get it out. I'm just going to dig all in it because I want to just get to the bottom. And let's say by nature, he's a wonderful guy. By nature, he don't do all that talking. And he may not even be that expressive. You know what I mean? Like, imagine that every day, like how you have to do that, and how you have to adjust.
Wasn't that your last one?
Who?
Sharice. You took the words out of my mouth. We ain't together.
That's what I'm saying. Like, you ain't too far.
That is
exactly was her last one. Like,
so y'all not together because of because he didn't talk.
That was one of the things. We went to therapy together, and as a therapist tried to tell both of us that we grew up from different backgrounds. In his household, they did not communicate. So that's how he's living. In my household, we communicated as much as we can, but we still communicated. So me, the communicator, and him, the non-communicator, it was frustrating to me because I could not get him to talk to me. And it was annoying. And on something I'm willing to compromise on, but conversation, I can't. That's one of the things. Like, you at least got to give me a little bit, just a little bit. So
I understand. Okay.
So my question to you is like, what drew you to your husband? Okay, so let me ask the first question. My first question is, would you rather be single? And I know your husband, so this is no shade to either one of your husbands. Did you love being single, or did you love being married, or do you love being married, or both? Like, you love parts of your singlehood, but you also, you have embraced being married and so forth. Without giving shade to your husbands, because I have to see them.
Okay, don't do it. It's like I'm playing. You want to go first, Mia?
Honestly, since I was 12 years old, like, I always wanted to be a wife and a mom. I definitely say I enjoy this life much better. I don't know that. I mean, like, I learned a lot in my single years and single time, but I enjoy this life better. I think that it makes me better as a person, because it shows me the areas like Jacinda, I'm perfect, right? But it shows me the areas where everybody see that perfection. It's like, like how I did that, right? So it does open up those areas where I thought I really had it all together, and it's like, no, boo-boo, no, not at all. And then it really showed me, like, a part of my character. Like, are you willing to work on that part, or you just like, that's who I am, and so you got to deal with it and what? And even after 15 years, like, it takes a long time because you lived with yourself in a certain way all of this time, and here comes somebody like compromise. Like, I've never had to compromise. Why would I compromise now? Like, you already knew what it was when we started. Now you want us to like, what is all of this?
Start clapping, like,
exactly. And grabbing.
Like, I had a problem with being no, and I was like, what do you mean no? Like, I'm the princess. Like, I get what I want. I ask for it and I get it. And so when you telling me no, I don't really understand it. Even English, Spanish, and any language, I don't understand.
Exactly.
She like, no where, no to who. Ooh.
No what? Like, I don't what? So
I'm just saying.
I had to learn it. It takes a long time, like, being called spoiled, and I'm like, just the language.
I'm pointing at somebody else. I gotta figure. I'll work it out. Anyway,
who are you talking about?
You.
I give the disclaimer that I'm spoiled. I don't know if that helps, but
the disclaimer.
It's like they hear it, they dismiss it, and it blows the I don't know what out of me.
Yeah, I'm a giver too, so I get it. And I don't do it I don't expect things in return.
Mm-hmm.
But it's just like it's different.
It's different. I mean, I say this with that same question that I agree with Jamia. Like I definitely enjoy this life. But I will say that in any facet, like whether single or married, I think you just like whatever state you in, you sit in it, you learn from it, you learn more about yourself. What I say about being single is, even though I think, how old was I when I got married? I met my husband at 29. So I guess, was I 30? I guess I was 30, like 30, 31. But I will say, being single, you learn a lot, and being an adult and single, you learn a lot about yourself. You learn about your non-negotiables. You learn about the things you're willing to sacrifice on and the things that you're not. And so for me, even though, 30 something, there are plenty of people who got married way before then. There are plenty of people who waited and got married after. But I would say for me, I do believe I learned a lot about myself, like personally, but even as it relates to guys and how I am or whatever. And like Jamia said, when you get married, so I love the companionship. I love, the fact that, like he literally is like my best friend. We talk about everything. I could like all of the companionship and all the good stuff is there. But I will say that in marriage, the mirror really is held up to you. Like the same way you can pick out all the things that's wrong with your mate. I would say for sure, I 1,000% agree with Jamia that it's also like, but in him, I can see all of my flaws, like the ones I knew about and the ones I was like, no, and this is no shade to any of us, because being a strong, independent woman is a beautiful thing. But sometimes, like how we categorize that, what that means to us, how we wear it, or how we choose to wear, like a lot of it can come out in your marriage in not a negative way, but it's a lot of things that you start to process differently once you have somebody kind of not throwing your stuff back at you, but again, holding that mirror up. Like, because I always say this, but I've learned for sure is that having a spouse, they know the best and worst parts of you. And I ain't gonna say if y'all doing it right. I'm just saying if y'all are really like living every day, like living like together, it's truly like a union. You see the best and the worst side. And it goes both ways. So I would say I think there's something great to take from being single and being married. And and for me, honestly, so Jamia said since 12, she was ready. Listen, me and my husband both say this. We were minding our business, doing us, not concerned. Like we were like, you know what I'm saying? Like separately, didn't even know each other, but just kind of like having, I think my husband likes to say this thing about flapping his wings, but he's talking about being free. He's like, my wings would just spread open. I would clip them wings off. So we always talk about his wings. But we both felt the same way. And so when we met, I think you kind of asked like, how do we know? I really feel like number one, you feel, I don't know. I think when you're, again, not to make it deep, but I definitely felt like my marriage was God ordained. Like I really, because again, we weren't even looking for each other. Like the way it happened, it just kind of happened. And then I was doing things that I wouldn't have done in other relationships. And even down to the things about us, the stubborn side, how we can be like, oh, I'm single though. If you do something I don't like, deuces. Matter of fact, even if you're my boyfriend and you do something I don't like, we not married. So, and I ain't trying to be funny, I'm just saying. So for real, we ain't got no papers. So if I don't want to deal with this, I don't have to deal with this. And so I think for me, it was definitely like me seeing the differences in myself that were coming out, the positive things that were coming out, meeting him, being around him, taking it organically, and things that I wanted to do. I was never the girl who was looking at wedding dresses and all of that stuff. And me and Cliff talked about it. I want to say within the first, I want to say 6 months, but it might have been before that. I think I was like looking at wedding dresses. I never, ever, like, I'm not saying I never wanted to get married, but it wasn't, I was kind of like, oh, I'll probably get married when I'm old boots, because that's me. Like, I'm doing me, I'm having fun, whatever. So, but like I said, you can get, I think it's something to be gained in all of it, like at the end of the day.
It's funny that you said that, Erica, because I'm real skeptical about saying that part about when, like, Chris and I knew each other since we were 12. Like, I wasn't checking for him. He wasn't checking for me. But when we came together, like, it was in a point in my life where I was just like, whatever. Like, I'm finna do. It don't even matter. Like if I get married, if I don't, like I'm chilling. I'm about to work me to whatever. But it was when I got to that place that here he come. Then I'm like, oh, wait a minute, here come feelings. Wait a minute, where's this from?
Like, what are these?
I mean, I was like, Chris. I ain't never thinking about dating no Chris. I was like, Chris brought it up to me and was like, you ever thought about dating Chris? I was like, what? Chris? Girl, no, bye. Like, I was giving all of that, okay? I was giving all of it. And I mean, here we are 15 years later. So
okay.
Really was, I really was at a place in my life where I was like chilling, like if it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, it doesn't. When we got officially we're dating, courting, whatever you want to call it, I was still like, okay, whatever. If it goes left, it goes left. If it goes right, it goes right. Like I didn't even really care until after about the 3-year mark. Then I was like,
you like, we together forever. So don't even think about it.
What are we doing here?
You stop. Right.
What's happening here?
You know you're not going nowhere, right? Oh, okay, great.
So, you know, I hear that a lot, like from people that are single that are now, people that were single that are now married. Like it's, oh, I wasn't checking for that person, or I was just out there doing me. And to me, who is always a giver, right? I don't even know what that looks like. What does doing me look like? What is, because of the fact of people who want to get married, who want to be in a relationship, right? What does doing them look like? Because everywhere I go, I'm just like, oh, he cute. Oh, he's so cute too. Oh. You know? So that's why I'm just like, what does quote unquote doing me look like? So you don't have to sit there and I don't want to say envy, because envy sounds so harsh, but constantly think about being in a relationship, constantly think about being married. You know, what does that look like?
The opposite of that. So no, it might
really.
No,
I know,
like,
really.
When I was 12, like I don't know when I was getting married. Did nobody?
I mean, 12. Of course, you could be doing it.
I knew all of the scriptures and about marriage. I knew all of that about, like, I knew all of that, and that was on my mind. But like when I got in my 20s, I don't even know what happened. Oh, I know what happened. I got engaged, and it didn't work out, and it really made me think about some things. Like, okay, well, that didn't work out. I know it could have worked out, but he was on some other stuff. I'm not gonna say. Don't put my business all out there. But I decided, like, if I was comfortable with being me, I was comfortable with being Jamia. And if that meant that I wasn't going to get married anytime soon, like, I'm cool with that. But it took a lot for me to be like, because I'm a people person, like I'm an extrovert, so I love being around people. But I was just like, if I'm not going to have a companion, because I was also the girl who had a boyfriend all the time, or the majority. It was like, I'm good on that. If I don't have to have a boyfriend, then I'm good. Like, I really want to focus on getting me together.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not going to say that it was easy, because I definitely had some times where I'd be like, well, I mean, I could just pick up the phone and make one phone call, and I can end it all tonight, here right now. But I really had to come to a place where like I'm good. So whatever that road is going to take me, then I'm gonna just go there. And if a gentleman is on the way, then he's on the way. But I don't even think I was just like, it's whatever. Like, I really had to get to that place. Like,
so I think that's where the key is. Like, you have to be content with being single. And I'm going to be honest with you, like, that Waivers for me. Sometimes So I see everybody in the comments like, well, you're not looking for it. Everybody in the comments that's saying that right now, you're already married. I don't want to hear it.
You have an attitude. You have a very nasty attitude.
But you know what, Erica? Let her have that attitude because I feel her.
I literally gave, and I know y'all know me. Jesus know I play. You know I play a lot, Lord. Okay. So
talk to him first now.
I just want
Okay, set it up.
I love y'all for sharing your comments. I really do believe that it is like the whole you're good with being single, and the reality of being single, especially at this age, is that you tend to think you're going to stay that way. So it's hard so 1 minute, yeah, because it's like you don't want to be single, but I ain't trying to deal with this foolishness over here again. So it's like I'm trying to deal with foolishness. Oh, I see foolishness. You a red flag. You got a big old red flag on your forehead. That's what I'm doing. Dismissed.
You know what? You got a good point. Like when you're in your 20s, right? And you literally are doing you because you're in your 20s. You're not even, some people not even thinking about getting married or what have you. As you get into your 30s, that's when you start to think about it. And if you become single, I mean, not if you become single, but if you're single, right? It starts to become to the forefront of your mind. And as the older you get and you're still single, that's just literally like, if marriage is what you desire, that becomes like the forefront of your, and like consumes you.
And so I'm kind of like, yeah, because I've probably been dreaming about marriage, and I probably have had marriage books, and because I'm biblical, like, you need to write it down, make it plain, do it, all that type. So you need to see it, Jesus, visualize, and all that type of stuff. So I've probably been in my head. I was supposed to be married 23 years ago.
And also not to be biblical, Jesus said,
come on,
he said he was gonna give you the desires of your heart. That's what he said, Lord.
And so that's my prayer now.
You have searched my heart, Lord. You have searched.
You got too much sass. That's why God's telling you today. You too sassy. So y'all just you too sassy.
But I do know you need to be when you're not looking for it, and that's 99.9% of the people say when you're not looking for it happens or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But that's not to say.
But I'm just saying, wait, no, it can go the other way. But it can go another way, God. Like, first of all, be doing you. I mean, I think we talked about that, but I do feel like I don't think it's like I think when people say that, they just mean even for people who want to be married that are single. I just think it means that that it's not, and I don't want to say it's not consuming them, but I guess it's kind of like what Jamia was saying, like, you know what, if it, like, sure, if it comes, if it falls in my face, great. If it doesn't, for now, I'll be content. It's kind of like that. And it's not to say it's anything wrong with being upfront forward and saying out loud what you want. Like, that's absolutely, like, there's nothing wrong with that. And I also feel like it could go the other way for people who are doing them. Because, like, for somebody like me, what could have also happened was, oh, well, I'm chilling and I'm having so much fun just minding my business or not, you know what I'm saying? Like, being concerned about me only, that I also could have missed it. Like, that's the thing people don't talk about. A lot of people probably miss it because of what they life and what they going, you know what I'm saying? Like, oh, he could have been great, but I didn't even take the time to find out because I was doing me. You know what I mean? Like,
I am afraid of missing it too. Like, I think I'm afraid for the Kendall too of missing it because y'all think I dismiss sugar. That baby can not put a D on a period, and she be like, I'm not talking to him no more.
Look, I mean, I told y'all I'm perfect. I told y'all. I didn't already put that out there.
But
Reese, honestly, I don't think you would miss it because
I gave Jesus to December 31st.
Yeah, here's the thing. The ultimatums that y'all give in your house. I can't. I don't think that's the best idea. I don't think that's the best approach for Jesus to be telling him what he will do by what date. I don't know if that's how that works. But
Lord, I'm play. I play. That's what you know. I play. Okay. All right. So, come on. So I don't know, because y'all. So everybody on this song know me, and y'all know I ain't always been saved. And I've had penis before, so I know what it feel like.
You say you what?
I've had penis before, so I know what it feel like.
All these church folk they got on here,
they know what their attitude. Look,
She said, we talking the truth or not? Because don't listen.
This is what the people need.
Listen.
Some people want to get married and they like you. They want the warm body and all of that. But when
that's all I asked for. Like,
that's not all you look in the name of Jesus. That's not all you want in your marriage. And I'm decreeing and declaring that we stop it. We throw that on the window. Because God said, oh, that's you keep saying that. Well, I'm gonna keep saying it.
That's not
no.
They warm. They warm though. So why you hating?
I'm just saying that's not all I want. But I'm saying
I'm talking about the Kendra with this warm body.
You just be talking about warm bodies all the time. Now I'm just right now. I do want the body a lot now in my singleness. I ain't gonna lie. Y'all church people out here like it's single. I like you ain't out here even doing something. Or
but you know that's normal. You feel like a human being.
But listen, I'm saying when I had the penis before, so I'm gonna want some more.
Y'all, we're gonna do a game. Every time Cherie say penis, everybody just take a little sippy sip. Let's see how lit people are at the end of it. Okay.
I don't think I have that much tea.
She just said it like
I don't. Hold on. We in 41 minutes and my tea is dwindling.
okay.
Okay.
I need some more water, somebody, because
I don't know. So literally, this conversation probably gonna last longer than the 59 that we got. So we're gonna have to come off and come back on. So y'all got to jump on what we do because we can only post up to 59 minutes on what's that place? What's that thing?
StreamYard.
No, not StreamYard.
Oh, Facebook.
I guess I don't have to post it on Instagram, but I have been posting Instagram. But this is like too much information to like hold within like an hour.
It really is.
A little longer than an hour, okay? So
you know, I really do need to dig deep into myself, right? Honestly, all jokes aside, like truth be told, being single right now, I am finding out a lot about who I am, finding out a lot of what I like and what I don't like. As Cherie said, I dismiss people real quick. And it's because I'm trying to protect my peace. Like seriously. I feel like red flags will come on you real quick and I'm like, I'm not talking to them no more. Well, why? Because he said his R is wrong. Like that's usually me.
that is her.
Look, he said aura instead of R.
Let's give an example of what we get now.
I'm just saying.
As single women. Y'all, the approaches that we get now as single women, and it's because some other women literally they just don't
accept that.
Give to nothing. Like that's just the reality of it. So if you have standards, then for a lack of a better word, you're basically screwed. I'm gonna go another way, but I'm gonna keep it that way. You're basically screwed with if you have standards. Like I was talking to somebody and he was cussing so much I couldn't even understand what he was saying. Like I
believe you. So you probably was like, I literally cannot comprehend.
I mean, I speak English. I speak it well.
Like, you speak English? Don't do it. In between.
Or like, so where do you live? Did you say hello? Did I get a greeting?
That is pet peeve number 3,659.
Not, hey, how you doing? Hey, where do you live? Wait.
Where you live at?
It's that hard.
What you about to say behind that preposition? That's you about to say. Where you live at?
But just saying.
I don't know. I mean, I guess, and I can't really speak to it because I'm not out there and I haven't been on any of the dating sites or anything. But this is what I genuinely believe. I believe that everybody has a different story in terms of, a different whatever. There's certain things that you hate that somebody else will be totally fine with and vice versa. But because me and Reese talk about this a lot, I definitely feel like though that no matter whatever is for you, your style or whatever, I feel like if you're really like waiting on God to do that, He gonna do it the way it's gonna work for you. He ain't gonna see nobody who jacking them auras because he know that you ain't gonna, you know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying in the sense that people are perfect or that God is going to like give you somebody and you gonna know it's him because he's gonna be glowing and he's gonna have a halo and it's gonna be like pick me. I ain't saying it's gonna be like that blatant, but I feel like, again, for the things that you've learned about yourself that are non-negotiables, things that really are that you really can't deal with, no matter how petty it is. And even with that, I'll say, I know we all crack a lot of jokes about people's standards, what they roll with, what they don't, but they're your standards to have. Like, no shade. Like, so, I mean, but I do kind of feel like that. I don't feel like God ever makes things so confusing, so messy, so whatever, that like he sends you like a trash man, like he's just whack, and you trying to find all the beautiful things about him. God is not gonna package that man like that and send him to you, and you like you got to sort through all. It's not gonna be. I don't think it's gonna be. It would be that hard. That's what I'm trying to say. I don't think if it's God doing it. That, like I said, I'm not saying it's going to be all magical and beautiful or whatever. I believe that every relationship got stuff that you work through. If you take the proper time in advance, you gonna find out some stuff in advance before you get engaged, before you get married, when you still have a decision to make, even after he has proposed. If it ain't something you don't want to do, and you true to yourself, and you know that ain't gonna work, then that's your chance to be honest with yourself and do that. But I don't feel like he's not a God of confusion. I don't feel like he gonna give it to you so messed up and so mangled that you gonna miss it if that's who he wants for you. I just don't.
That's something that Erica and Jamia have said to me in the past. Like, it's not supposed to be hard. And it's something that I do hold on to, because I feel like the foolishness, if it's going to be seen, it's going to be seen early.
Yeah.
So why hold on
to with that information once you get it?
Absolutely.
So,
absolutely.
You know, so somebody has a question for y'all. So they said, Tasha said, how do you know if he is the one?
Ooh, that's a good one. Because you choose.
Come on, choice.
Because you choose. I do not believe that there is one person that you have one person. I believe that you can choose. Because the person that I was engaged to, he chose otherwise. If he didn't, I think I would be married to him. But he chose otherwise. So now I'm here, and now I'm happy, quite happy. So I think that God presents things to you. I think, like Erica said, and then you have a choice. I see this could be a candidate. Then you start developing relationships, and you like, that thing, and you start weighing it like, I don't know. You might have to dismiss it, or you might say, that's a thing for me. Maybe we can talk about it. And he might be like, nah, I'm not letting go of that. And you might be like, well, I gotta let go of this. Or be like, okay, well, I think I can compromise with it and just figure it out, because this is good for me. And but you have a choice. That's how you know it's
That's good. That's a good point.
There's another question. So Takia says, how often do you examine your list standards and why each one is there? Asking because I thought some things and standards that I laughed at, now married for 12 years. Yeah.
Go ahead, y'all.
So
I have no answers.
I did.
I'm still trying to figure it out.
So I
on my list.
Yeah.
Look at me list. Okay.
It's going to change. Like, I feel like it's forever going to change. You're going to evolve. He's going to evolve.
Yeah.
Or whatever. And then your list might be, Lord, I just don't want her to be dumb today. Okay. And I'm not married. I'm just saying it. That's a general for me. Like, can you just not be dumb today? Can I just wake up and be like, Jesus? He was dumb yesterday. Don't let him be dumb. So, I feel like you're always evolving, but I'm gonna let the married people. Are you asking the married or single people, Sakia?
Wait,
I have a list though. I have a list.
To be clear, that's what she asked about, a list, like a list of standards.
Yeah. How often do you examine?
Yeah,
I don't have no list. But
yeah.
Should I still have Jamia pull hers up? I don't.
The standards.
Maybe that was
I'm not saying I don't have standards, but not. I don't know. Like,
no, that's what I'm saying. Maybe her question was to single people. Like, how often do we examine our list or standards? So I have a list because I was as many church sessions as I have been in, right? They tell you, oh, write down what you want to ask God for in your partner, right? Yeah.
So I do have a list.
Did that.
Hello?
I did that.
Okay.
Veronica said, she said, my list is ever evolving. The deeper my relationship with God becomes, the clearer my list becomes.
Come on.
Jacinda,
update that list and stop playing.
Let me tell you what Jacinda first need. Jesus.
Because you realize some of those things don't even matter.
Jesus. She needs Jesus first.
You're not gonna come for your co-host, first of all.
Thank you. Thank you.
Don't do her.
You on here. She be just grabbing for my neck every time.
But Jamia makes a good point, Jacinda. We don't know what's on your list, but we just saying. Half of the stuff you write. Here's a moment of honesty for you. How superficial is that list? And it might not be at all. So I'm apologizing in advance. I'm gonna say no shade. But how superficial is that list? And by that I mean how many things are traits, like physical traits. And I'm not saying physical does not matter because it is all relative. Attraction is relative. But I'm just saying, how if you were honest with yourself, what percentage would you give that? Of the superficial
part, it's about 50%, maybe 60%.
Because I was gonna say, like, how much
probably
you make
on the 70%. I mean, you gotta be tall.
See, I done told her about that.
I mean,
I done like, what is tall for you though? What is tall for you?
So at least 6 feet.
The funny thing though is, no shade, Jacinda is a midget, and I can call her that because I don't want to.
How tall is tall?
4'12".
No, 4'12".
On a good day, she's 4'12".
Come on, really?
And that's
Like,
no
I'm just saying.
But okay, so that's a non-negotiable. Like if a short dude even talking, you can't see him. Like the blinders go on. Like, sir, I can't. look, get a Jamia. We need you to put all of that in a bowl and some water. We're gonna take you to church and we're gonna wash all that away.
So look, like I'm short myself. So like this, okay. I do like tall men. However, let me take y'all back to when like I was looking to have more kids and things. I'm like, well, I don't want them to be both of us to be short and we have short kids. I don't want that.
You short and you fine.
I'm a girl.
Me and
5 minutes, go get in the corner behind you. Just go get in the corner. Yes, go sit in the corner. We're not talking to Jacinda for 5 minutes because I can't.
I told her I'm wrong with her. I love her.
Okay, so aside from tall, what else is on this list?
Okay, tall. He has to be educated. He has to have pretty teeth. He has to, well, the first thing, first of all, you asked me, don't do all that.
I just want to wait. Tall, educated, good teeth. What else?
So, Jamia, just stop. Stop it.
We just taking notes.
So honestly, the first thing that's on my list is he has to have a relationship with God. Like that's the first thing on my list. And
so
then
why wasn't that the first thing you said?
Huh?
Why wasn't that the first thing you said?
Because you asked about the superficial stuff.
I said how much of it is superficial?
About 60-70%.
I say that on your list also.
Did you see the percent went up?
It started at 50.
60, 70. I don't know who got that. I don't know who got that.
I'm just saying.
Okay, relationship with God. Okay.
Like, that's the first thing. And me personally, I know everything else is superficial. However, some things I just can't compromise on. Like, it needs to be taller than me. Just please.
Okay. Yeah, you a midget. Anybody can be telling me. I'm just playing. Look, she said we don't want 5'5". She said no, thank you.
No, I can't do 5'5". Because my thing is, if I'm in heels and I'm looking you in your eyes, you are too short.
Okay.
We gonna need a whole other hour for your list.
No, we don't. No, first of all, don't make this about me. We're talking about being single and married.
I'm trying to get there.
I'm trying to get there, Jamia. Thank you.
Okay, so
that's why we need another hour on this list.
None of these things.
I need help.
I never thought to ask for him to have pretty teeth on my list.
Sharice, don't you write it? Don't you write it on your list?
No,
I'm just playing.
I mean, come on.
I'm playing.
They got teeth whiteners, they got braces, they got things that can fix that.
You know what? There is things that can fix that. However, I feel like if we are going into our 40s and you are still talking about things that can fix your teeth, like, bruh, your priorities jacked up, because that's the first thing that people see. Your teeth is the gateway to your soul. I'm gonna need you to get that together.
I don't know what that's saying. I'm not sure I know what that's saying. So you want
you to bring that to his attention. Like, you might open up a whole new world for him that he's never experienced. When he came,
like, grab that baby by the hand. Come on.
But there's commercials. There's commercials.
Yo,
like,
he might not think that's a priority.
He might not. Yeah, it's true. Let me ask you this real quick.
Yeah, like she said, if he's a trash man, why do he need perfect teeth? If he loves you and he's doing he got everything on that list that you asked for. He is tall, handsome. He's making that money. Like, he's everything on that list. Them teeth,
but he got jacked up teeth. What we gonna do? Like, we getting them braces, or what we doing?
Right.
First of all,
I'm gonna
have to go to the Lord and be like, Lord.
The Lord is gonna be like, go sit down together. Because you know what?
Like,
you know what the Lord gonna do? The Lord gonna get him braces and send him to the next woman because you playing. That's what he gonna do.
He'll make that bright smile and be like, dang.
Okay. That's not gonna burn you up when you see him later in the Target.
It will. Look, this is me. This is just for me.
No, we not ganging up on you, though, Jaquita. I'm messing with you. This is
somebody else needed to hear this. Take them teeth off that list.
I can't. Look, sis. You need to hear this. Y'all know, if you are like that adamant about teeth and a smile as I am, leave them teeth on their list.
But it seems like you have a lot. Okay, I know this is not about your list. Just give me 2 or 3 other things that are not superficial at all that's on this list. Oh, he needs to have a relationship with God. Okay, what else?
That's first and foremost. He has to be family oriented. Like, he has to love family.
Okay. And what else?
I can't think of anything else at the top of my head. Hold on.
But it's your list. I feel I'm a spiritual and spend a lot of time building all the things on this list that are.
So I haven't looked at my list in a few years.
Oh.
I have.
But it seems to be internal. I think she don't need to write the list because it's in the spiritual. Up, Steve, no. Up, height, no. She ain't gonna know if they got a relationship with God.
Look, when I'm on my date now,
you don't like God because I ain't gonna never know because I ain't gonna never talk to you. So this
right, the thief ain't right.
That's what men don't have relationships with God.
Look, I ask people like, do you know who Jesus is? You know who he is? Like, I ask those questions.
That don't mean he got relationship.
Do you ask him with that face?
What you mean?
Do you know God?
I love you. This is hilarious. You like, do you know Jesus?
Like I be wanting to know.
You do.
Okay.
Matter of fact, that's another one. I ask, like, they have to have a prayer life.
What's your purple?
Hey, Sharice. She's asking about. Let's not. Let's not. Sharice, what you were not about to do? As Erica said, it's coming from me.
You're not gonna shade the co-host. You're not.
Like, stop coming for me.
Asking the question.
What you mean what I pray for? I pray for a lot of stuff.
What's your prayer life?
I got a prayer closet.
Where?
No, wait a minute. Did you look to the side after you said it? What is happening?
It was like, wait,
She's like, it's one of these closets in here, God. No, matter of fact, you lying because you said you don't have no closet. Then you say you don't have no closet. See what you just did? Look at you.
Look, I got a prayer closet. Now, how many times do I go in my prayer closet and talk to Jesus? I might have to.
Well, see, then you're not even asking. I mean, not to be funny or deep. So you have this desire that you want, you know, like you want this. I'm not even shading it for. I'm being dead serious. You want this man. It's important to you. That's a big thing for you, and you spend a lot of time thinking about, talking about that.
Mm-hmm.
But you're also saying that your prayer life, that I'm not even going to shade or not, but what you're definitely saying is that you aren't talking to God on a regular basis about what you want as it relates to the man. You can't be. But I'm gonna ask, right? Like
I'm not, but you're right. I'm not.
So
consider that? We no shade. Just consider that. Like that. I mean, just to start doing it.
I did have somebody tell me probably a couple of weeks ago that I needed to speak it as if it was. Not to say that I don't literally, but I think I get confused and I get not blown by. Well, sometimes I am blown by. Like, what are you doing? What are you doing? And why aren't you in a relationship? And why aren't you talking to anybody? And what are you doing to attract men?
People really ask you like, why aren't you in a relationship?
So like they really do. Like, what are you doing to attract men? Like, where are you going? And I'm like,
oh, I can't believe that you're still single.
Me
either. The heck?
Like that's a single woman get. Like I wrote down something. Let me show you what else. How could a woman, when you just said it, but I wrote down, how could a woman like you still be single? Now I get that from men, which is really, really odd for me because it's like you don't get out my face right now and shut up.
But you know what? Honestly, when the opposite sex, like I think when the opposite sex is asking you that, I feel like that's their way. Now, I think it's kind of wild if it's like friends, family, girlfriends. Not wild, like no judgment, but I think it's a little bit crazy with somebody looking at my face and be like, "Girl, why are you single?" Because what it says to me in that vein is kind of like "What's wrong with you?" And it's like, "Don't play me." So I think that's kind of the same with men.
Let me figure out who I can hook you up with. I'm okay with the hookup, but I feel like we gotta discuss that though. If you want to do it, just go and do it or whatever. Mm-hmm. So, or are you too picky? Well, Jacinda might be, but I don't think I am. But
we love you, Jacinda.
I'm just saying.
I am not picky.
Well,
this is one though that I had. This is one that I had to literally look into and like for real. When the person asked me, I had to question myself, and it was, "Are you still in love with your ex?"
That's a good question.
So literally, because still being in love with your ex literally would take me to a place where I'm really not checking for nobody else. You come to me all day long. You could be the right man, but I don't see you because my purpose and my heart is still over there. So I literally had to check myself on that one because that one did ping that one didn't blow me, but it did ping like Chiles. I mean, I ain't had no ex in so many years, but you know. So are you putting yourself out there to do what? What does that look like?
Are you going down to the paint and getting on? I'm just kidding. I'm joking. So they can see you.
Down in the dirty with a girl. Oh, I'm sorry.
No, I'm kidding.
I have to plug my friend.
We don't own the rights to that song.
On here to talk about her hide and seek because it's real good, and it talks about the single woman in the hidden place and how she need to be found.
Wait, what is it? What you say? What is it?
I said y'all need to have my friend Takia back on here so she can talk about this. What you talking about, Sharice? She has a book called Hide and Seek, which is about the single woman.
Takia?
Yes. She does. Have her back. It's good stuff. Find it on Amazon.
Duly noted.
Find it on Amazon.
I'm just gonna tell y'all.
Come on, you better plug. Yes, I wrote it down too. Man, no,
This is
like, I can support it.
No single woman wants you to ask her any of those questions.
Yeah, I feel like that's invasive, and I feel like it implies a lot, even if that's not what people mean.
It's
and I feel like that's their way of
single.
That's
really what it implies. Like, it's something wrong with you because you're single. And I could say that for some of them, I could say, well, you in a relationship, but I don't think you should be on it.
It's on the same line of why you don't have no kids yet. Like, it's on the same.
Yeah,
it is on the exact high now.
So
Jamia, get out of my square. Get in my square. Get on over. Get on over. That's true.
And disrespectful.
That is inappropriate.
So I think really like respect each other's space. Like, well, this is my question. Do married people have an issue with do you as married people have an issue with your girlfriends being single?
No. What do you mean?
Do what I said.
Okay, so my immediate answer is no, but I just want to make sure I ain't missing nothing.
That's how dumb it sounds when you ask when they ask us, why are you still single? The hell if I know.
Oh, you mean like married friends asking you that?
Or anybody that's in a relationship for real. Anybody that has a man. I'm not gonna say anybody. I always get that from people that have men, or it's always like, why are you single? What are you doing? Are you approachable? I have a million friends. What do you mean am I approachable? Like,
but it's funny too, and all of that's BS. You know why? Because I remember like when being single, I know that I don't feel like my face is the most friendly. Because I definitely have resting bitch face. So and how many dudes? That's almost like the invitation. Like the meaner you look, even when people are talking about how do you look when you go out, all of that stuff, it's all BS. Because you can get booked on your worst day.
Hello.
Exactly. I mean, your worst day. You be like, I'm sorry. Wait, who you talking to? Because I didn't even try today. Like, what you mean? But I think I'm not trying to be like facetious. I'm just amazed because I don't think I've ever in my 39 years asked any of my friends, why are you single?
It makes us feel.
I think that's a dumb question.
It makes us feel. Yeah, that was a good round off as far as when women don't have children. Like, it makes us feel like it's really wrong
with us. Mm-hmm.
We are not worthy enough to have a man or carry a child or whatever. I'm like, I don't know.
Don't ask them stupid questions.
And I do get defensive. I'm gonna work on that. I'm gonna go on my prayer clause.
I'm not.
Don't ask me that. I don't know if you need to not. I'm not saying start no fights, but I mean I don't know if there's anything wrong with you. I don't think you necessarily have to hide the fact that you're offended, because you asked it. So how I respond is how I respond.
So yeah,
maybe drop some appropriate answers for that in the chat, because I don't have any, because all of mine are sarcastic.
Jamia, come on, top three. Your top three. Jamia, why are you single? Top three answers.
Top three answers, because I am. And why are you the way you are?
Okay.
All sarcastic.
That's great. Yeah.
So Monet says that, literally she says that I know some husbands that don't like their wives hanging with single friends.
Mm-hmm.
And
okay. So that's okay.
Because some people do, and I do feel, and not just me, I know some people that have husbands that are like that or whatever, but I don't think that is, I think that really is it's an issue with that friend and with that friend, who that friend is. I don't know if that really is an issue with, and it might be because she is single, but it's literally how that person is living their life.
Mm-hmm.
Are they, when I hang out with this person, are you taking me to do single stuff with you, or are we just hanging out? Because then in that regard, you're not respecting my marriage.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
That's not, we just chilling. But if you going out to ask me to go meet a guy with you, and then there's another guy, he gonna bring a friend? No.
That's wild. Okay, look, Jacinda said, I hope so. Well, Jacinda, that's a different situation. Okay, that's different. But I will say this. I feel like I definitely I think Cliff and I have had conversations about that, more so definitely like early on, but it was more compound than what he thought. Like I think initially, so the way he used to be, so of course, me and Reese are really good friends, we're very close. So like there were certain people, like Chiles or Deanna, like certain people that he knew that were like really close to me anyway, that for them, he didn't care what they, because it's like, oh, but that's them and they family and they would never, like because he trusts y'all, right? But let's say I came home, like, if I started a new job or something, and maybe it was like, like two new, like two new coworkers or whatever, and we were like, hey, let's go grab some drink or something like that. I think for him in the beginning, it would be more of a, but I mean, okay, they single, like how? First of all, I don't even know them. Like, how do they roll? What's up with them? But what was important for him to understand, and he and I, we definitely don't have that issue now. What I explained to him was, well, first of all, the person who you are married to is me. The person you need to be concerned about and the person you need to trust is me. And what you need to trust is that in any scenario, whether I'm with my good girlfriends who tote their Bibles and would never, or I'm with the ones who will be down at the paint, all jokes aside, like it don't matter who I'm with, like you got to trust that my character is consistent no matter where I am. And so that was the type of conversations we had to have, especially early on, because again, even a year or two in, like Jamia, I think said earlier, we literally just celebrated 8 years on the 27th of October. Every day you learn something new about yourself and what you can tolerate, whatever, something new about him, like every day. And so again, that was early on. It's not an issue now. But I do believe that for some husbands, I can't really speak for husbands in general because I'm not one, but I do believe that for some husbands, the concern, if it ain't other stuff wrapped up in it with like nothing shady, it might just be a genuine concern like, oh, but what is the character of these people? But again, the bottom line is, who are you in the relationship with? Who do you have the covenant with? Because that's what's important. Like, and that's the thing, and I had to flip it and explain to him, you do understand that no matter who you are ever around, I could literally walk up to Cliff and see him in a circle, and I'm being completely funny, but I'm dead serious too. He could be in a circle surrounded by women, and I promise you, and I mean this from the bottom of my heart, I ain't gonna think nothing left off the break. It's gonna be like, babe, what's this? What we doing? Because number one, I'm comfortable because I can ask. Because we got that, I'm gonna ask. We gonna have a dialogue, and he's the type of husband that when he see me, matter of fact, even if that was nothing, he would literally be like, "Oh nah, I ain't even gonna stay by that circle because if my wife even happened to walk past here, I don't want her to think that maybe possibly like that's." And again, but it's all about the character of the person that you with. Period. So I mean, I think it's a real thing, but it's about trusting your partner. That's a big, huge, major part of a successful marriage, like huge. And it is hard. Even when you've been with somebody 1,000 years, stuff can still come up. This still can make a spouse uncertain. Again, it's never static. It's always moving parts. You never know what marriage is going to throw at you on any given day.
Listen, I'm saying, but that's the stuff that people don't talk about. Like, you have the best relationship, you change, your spouse changes every year, and you gotta deal with it. Just when you thought, I got it down pat, no, you don't. But last week, you like the chicken wings, but nah, I'm on steak this week. Oh, my bad. I done whipped up this chicken and wings. Right. We're gonna put a little steak sauce on them and really good. But yeah, the ever evolving relationship because ever evolving people. They don't talk about that either.
Well, I don't know. So we have another question from Takia, which we're gonna bring on because I didn't know Takia had a book. But so what's an appropriate way for friends to approach a dating single marriage combo? I'm gonna say for me, it really depends on the delivery. I don't mind you having that conversation with me, but don't. Well, one, if you have to ask me why I'm single, you're probably not my friend. Okay, I'm gonna say that. So
that might not be true, but
I'm just you, I don't know. Last for me is definitely in the delivery or whatever. You can't come at me with a conversation. You can't come at me opinionated off the break. I'm never going to receive that. It's not for me. It wouldn't be coming from a genuine place at all. So if I don't sense the genuineness in it, or I don't think it should be a concern, to be honest with you. And I think that's
can we ask Takia to clarify, like when you say approach?
Your phone is doing that funky thing again with the whole mic situation.
My phone?
Yes.
I don't know what to do about it. I didn't touch anything.
We can hear you, but it's like you're drowning. But so here, what's the question again?
Huh?
What's the question,
What's
Erica?
the name of the book?
No, Erica, what's the question?
Oh,
I was just asking to explain, like, to breach what type of conversation, like just to talk about being single in general, or is it like, hey, I noticed some things that might be helpful for you? Like, what exactly is she trying to breach a conversation about? Because that matters too.
So Takia, give us a little bit more background, and we're gonna come back to your question. So then we have one from Monet. So it says, so when we talk about ever evolving, how do you ensure that y'all are growing together and not apart? Go on, married people.
that's y'all. Oh, y'all.
That's y'all. That ain't y'all.
E, you want to say?
I'm ready. Well, no, I'm gonna be quick. I feel like it's literally, and I don't want to say that everything always boils down to communication, but you literally you just cannot be fearful of having real conversations. Like me and Cliff I always say, we in this thing together forever. We doing life together forever. So guess what? We're gonna have good days, bad days, but we're gonna talk about real stuff. So some days it's gonna be fluffy and some days it won't. But I feel like being honest, like even if you have a moment, right? Like Monet was saying, if you have a moment where you notice that with your spouse, breach the conversation. Like that's the thing about it. I think a lot of times we interpret stuff the way we want to. We see something, we internalize it. But the thing that we avoid is having actual real conversations about things like that. We treat everything like people like to treat stuff like it's taboo. But I'm like, no, what I've definitely learned. I mean, I've always been a communicator and a pretty direct person in personality, but I do recognize in my marriage, I'm like, it does not benefit me to hold my tongue. I need to be tactful. I need to approach my husband with love. I need to consider what I'm saying because there was, honey, I mean, I know I got a sharp tongue, but there was a prophet who did not know me from Adam who told me that one day. And I was looking at her like, did you hear me talking to my earlier? Like, how you know? But it's like, I knew that I was like, that was God. And I think that was him kind of trying to say, not just having, like, being sarcastic or having a smart time, be mindful and careful with your words when you talk to your husband. Like, like, give them and respect them. It doesn't mean we ain't gonna have some real honest conversations. It doesn't mean it's always gonna be sweet and fluffy, but breach a conversation. If I got a question or concern, it's on the table. And it goes the same way with him. Like, it might not be comfortable, but it's going to be discussed.
Yeah.
And therapy. Therapy is real. Use it. Because there's a lot of growth that a third party can bring into your situation. When I say third party, I mean like a professional that can bring into your situation that you really don't see the impact of it until you experience it, until you do it, if y'all experience a certain issue. So.
Agreed. I think communication and also being honest with yourself and saying, okay, like this is an issue. How am I going to approach it? Is this an issue that could tear us apart, or is it something where I have to be what I want to say, patient while my spouse is going through this, and I recognize this is something that they need to an area that they need to grow in, and even though it's affecting me over here in a negative way, whatever, like how am I going to respond to it? Like how am I going to be a helpmeet and vice versa? Like they have to, like same thing. Like if I just had a conversation with Chris the other day and I said, hey, like real talk, I said, I'm feeling like I'm going through a eventual transition. Like, I don't want to be at my job. I don't want to be here. And immediately he started going into fix it mode. And I was like, no. It's not really a fix it mode. I'm just letting you know, like, where I feel in my spirit that I am going. Like, I understand all the responsibilities that we have. Like, I understand that. I'm just telling you how I'm feeling. So that if the next conversation is, hey, I'm looking for another job, or hey,
I told you.
Hey,
you already know.
Right? And also, so he can be praying too, like, okay, God, give her direction, or whatever the case. But like, just really being honest, upfront, knowing, and then figuring out that sweet spot. Like, how do y'all work through those situations, and how do you all talk through them? How do you all, like, what kind of space do you think you need to give him, or like, what does that look like in you all's relationship? But like she said, it boils down to communication, and sometimes they may be rough conversations. Like, you might have to step away and then come back. Like, let's do a part 2 of this, because you brought us, rubbed me the wrong way. I wasn't really ready to deal with it, and I need some time to think about it, or sit on it, or sleep on it, whatever the case may be. But being big, put on your big girl drawers and have at it. It's a lot of opportunities.
Issues in marriage is recurring anyway. So you are never going to have one conversation about one issue and then it's fixed forever. That is a lie from the pit of hell. So you're going to find yourself having sometimes the exact same. You might be like, this got to be deja vu. Because I know we're talking about this ad nauseum. But you know what I mean? So
yeah,
I think it's that too. Just kind of being real with yourself about that. That one convo ain't going to never fix it. And it's all about combined action. It ain't just let's talk about it. It's how do you take what we talk about and what you processed and actually put it into action, so that that behavior or that thing or that whatever, you know what I'm saying, is addressed in a real way. So
okay,
good stuff. So yeah, that question, Takia, was for us single people. So she said there was a lot of talk about how a friend cannot approach you about being single. Just wondering what she can say that would be acceptable. She can let me bring it up. That's just me. That don't work for everybody. But my thing is, if I haven't said this, that is something wrong with me being single. If I haven't initiated the conversation or whatever, and I'm okay. I know that my friends love me and they want to see me happy or whatever, but the man does not define me ever. So that's the way it comes off to me when people just out the blue ask me those dumb questions.
Yeah, I'm kind of with you, Reese. Like,
let me say it.
Let me bring it up. I don't need you in my mind. I don't need you in your happy home with your husband and your 2.5 kids. Yes. and your white picket fence to sit here. Oh, why are you single? Because that's the attitude I'm going to have. So let me bring it up in conversation so we don't lose our friendship. Like,
we're not gonna lose the friendship.
No,
but
I'm just playing.
I'm probably not.
Let me bring it up.
I'm not gonna be receptive to. And mine usually comes up in like girlfriend settings, and they're sitting around and they're talking about their husband, which I let them do. Like I let you vent about your husbands and your booze and all that type of stuff. And I'm in the background, and I really don't say much unless I try to stay neutral in those stuff, because I don't have any of that, even though I do know some of them or whatever, but I don't think it's my place to respond. So then that's how it comes into play.
Let me tell you something. When I do have a couple married friends, when they come and we're talking and they're talking about their husbands or talking about how their household is being ran, and sometimes I'd be like it's two different spectrums. On one end, I could be like, well, you could be over here with me answering Facebook posts. Where you at? Where you live at? How many kids you got? You could be over here with me if you want to. You could. But then there's the other side. It's just like, well, I see that everybody has issues, whether you are in a marriage or single, right? I'm never usually in the middle. I'm usually on one end of the spectrum. You could be over here. Oh, everybody has issues. So I mean, I get it. But don't ask me, you married person, why you still single. Don't do it.
That's just the married
Don't
people though.
try
I was like, single people probably
not
acting
me.
like
For me, it's just not the married people. Like anybody that has a boo, period. I've had that question from anybody that's had a boo or whatever. And I just don't. If they've noticed, which they probably haven't, because they continue to ask, that my responses are short. So maybe that's my fault, and I should just say, don't ask me that.
My question is motive behind the question. Like, why are they asking? Like, what are they trying to get at?
right.
And I don't know if they feel like they're trying to. I don't know. Maybe they're sad that I'm not in a relationship. I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know why they ask that question. Like, you know what? Maybe they really, your friends or say married people actually really do want to see you happy. And you probably have expressed earlier that you want to be in a relationship and you want to be married, right?
Do I look at her?
So said person, right? That thing's so fake.
So, my next answer to that response to that is if I've expressed to you that I want to be married, the best thing that you can do for me is pray for me and my whoever my husband will be.
Mm-hmm.
You do say that a lot. That's true.
You don't have to keep asking me questions. And the reality is that I'm all y'all praying for me. So usually the people that I do want praying for me, I'm gonna say, Erica, go on something.
Okay, she just come for me. My husband a million times like, like you not praying hard enough. Like, man, you're yelling.
Whatever. However, don't have me in a room full of people that's in relationships and be like, we say you're not single.
No, why?
Look, have you ever got fought on whatever day that is? You ever got your throat snatched up?
Wait
Don't
a minute.
ask me that.
You violent.
I'm really not.
Oh,
I'm really not. I'm okay.
But you know what, y'all? On the flip side, let me say this. And again, though, I feel like, I mean, because Jamia kind of asked a good question. So yes, Reese, I do believe that if somebody is doing that to you on a regular basis, that is, I mean, no, and I get it, it's rude and all, but you probably just need to say, tell them, and or you can follow up. Your immediate response to be, well, you know, I'm just curious to know why you asked. Because it really is a question about
I get that. I probably should go there, but I'm like me, it automatically goes to, because in my head, if I don't say it out loud, I'm saying, but you are married, but it's hard. Or you are in a relationship and you should.
The shade. Okay. Can we, Jacinda, can you black her square out for 5 minutes? Seriously, I need a button that I can just
time out.
Yeah.
I don't think ain't nobody gonna ask you that no more.
Everybody looking like
you can discuss with me if I brought it up, and I'm not even gonna say that. I'm let me, to be honest, is you can say it, you can have conversation with me, but it really is all in the delivery for me. Like if the delivery is wrong and it's abrupt and it's opinionated and it's your views and it don't have absolutely nothing to do with me, y'all, I'm working hard over here. You understand? You understand?
I don't know if I was able to ever fix my mouth or lips to ask anybody that though.
That's
like,
what I'm saying.
Like,
well, look, the people that sit here and, as you said, Jamia, the people that sit here and ask, oh, well, why you haven't had a baby yet, are the same people that ask you, well, why you not in a relationship? Heifer, because I'm not.
Okay.
You know, other words wanted to come out.
They're a category for me, so I don't want to talk about what the category is. But less.
I'm just like, please don't do that. Please do not, because it's so offensive. You think that, well, some people do like to be single, but for the people that have expressed to other people, like, they want the companionship, they want to be married, they want all that other stuff. You think that we just out here Trying to be single. You think that's what we want?
It's as if we're doing something wrong. To not.
No. Well, yeah, so it could be that, but I think it's also that people, when people ask questions like that, it is asked with the not even assumption, with the ignorant thought that even those of us who are in relationships, in marriages or whatever, that we knew that we did something specific, like we hit this button and then boom, like we went to the vending machine and it was like, oh, this how you do it. You hit this code right here and then the man fall out. That's how that works. So it's like, girl, why you ain't got to the vending machine? Like they really are acting like it's something that direct, and it's not though. Like everybody's experience is very organic. Like, I mean, it's just different things that people experience. So that's the thing about it. People ask you those questions acting like there is a right way to do something when that ain't even the case. So that's why I'm saying ignorant, because, and it's not even to judge anybody, because I do believe that sometimes some people just have a knack for, even if they love you, even if they mean well, some people really just don't know what to say. That is some people. I'm not gonna say everybody who asks you those questions or trying to make you feel bad. And matter of fact, I'm gonna say that if they are a friend or family member of yours, they probably don't even think that they doing that. They gonna think, damn, after they watch this.
Right.
I bet you they won't ask no more.
Think that before.
They throwing out the apologies.
They don't think they say what they feel. Like they're just kind of like, oh my God, but why? Or when you go, it's like all these, and it's like, it's tone deaf. It is tone deaf, but it may not always be coming from a bad place. So I do think, and I say this about a lot of stuff, setting your boundaries is okay. To be like, the next time you get asked that, you either push it back, like, just curious, why do you ask me that? And then for future reference, I like the question, or the question makes me uncomfortable, or unless you got a vending machine with a nigga in it that I want, let's not. Like, it's not helping me. But that goes into the sarcasm, so don't do that, because that was a little bit of Jamia that came out. Sorry.
Because really, I am for some people that don't know, but I am very, very shy. So Jakinda is the person who will go and sit at the bar and start talking to people.
Mm-hmm. In a second.
That's not Sharice. I'm not going to do that. It's not part of my makeup. I'm not going to do it. So I know I do believe in working it out of your comfort zone, all that type of stuff. But if I'm not comfortable enough in it, it's not going to happen.
And you know
but
what?
It would sound silly to say be somebody that you're not to get a man. Like, that don't make sense.
Really, what you're asking me to do, like, literally.
Right. So sorry, what were you gonna say? My bad.
No. I'm just saying, like, when she said that to me for the first time, like, you shy, says the person, I am what they call a homebody. Like, I'm an introverted extrovert.
Me too.
I like to be at home. However, when I'm out, of course, I'm a mingle. But then I got to come back home and recharge, because y'all humans, y'all take a lot up out of me. Okay. But I say that to Sharice, like, she's such an outgoing person, right? And to say that she's shy, I'm just like.
And see, my thing is that it's just all of my life I've been pushed into the leadership role. So I literally just adapt.
Mm-hmm.
That's what
but she's shy.
I can't stand speaking in front of people.
She can.
I talk in front of her. Hey, girl, let me talk.
But literally, like, since I've been in elementary school, I was the president of the 8th grade. They called me the mama of the whole school, whatever. And the history of, like, I just was brought up with my grandmothers, and I watched a lot of and mimicked a lot of stuff they did as far as nurturing other people. So and that just put me into a whole. I was going parish council. I was in the choir. I was just doing a whole lot of dancing, and then the dance instructor, and then I was a teacher's aide or whatever person dancing. I became dance director, and we all know how that goes. But anyway, I'm just at work. I'm pushed into. I have to speak, but in a perfect world, I have to be comfortable with you in order to have those organic types of conversations. Other than that, it's going to be surface. Hey, how you doing? And if you don't say nothing after that,
going on about my business.
And have a good day. It's been real.
And all right.
Literally, it's not something like, I feel like if I'm not comfortable, it's not going to happen. And nobody can push me into doing that.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, might be hindering myself a little bit, but I feel like whoever he is going to love, accept, and like whoever I am. And it's just going to happen organically, and the conversation will just happen. So,
yeah.
I think all my friends that are worried about me still being single at 42, though. I'm not sure if that's true. I just want y'all to pray. Because Jesus says to December the 31st, and then that's on and popping.
I don't know what that means. You're gonna pop and sit down. That's what you're gonna do. Oh, we can pretend though.
Jamia, what you saying?
I said, and thank God to see another year.
Come on.
Yes.
Look at Sharice's face.
She's like, y'all
she
not.
said, honey, just let me get to 2021. This is gonna be on.
She said December 31st.
No, that's what I'm saying. She just trying to get into the listen. No, ma'am.
The Lord put Paige back into your house.
Come on.
What? Now your phone doing something. It must be these Androids. That must what it must be, because we don't have that. Apple.
Say something else.
And single tea is done. It was nice talking to y'all.
She is ridiculous.
It's coming from my Android. I don't know which way. Is this you over here?
Yep, that's her.
You are coming from my Android. And I don't like it. Okay.
Look at her when she's talking to you.
Oh. Get a real phone.
Did you grin on her? You not gonna grin on her.
Thank you.
Don't do it.
But yeah, this is a really good conversation, guys. And I really appreciate y'all for taking the time out to like gives us the ins and outs of like marriage. The great parts and the hard parts. What I did like that you all didn't share, or even if you don't have any horrible moments. It's either good or it's just hard at that time. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like some people, like they really share the like fantasy of it all, or they share like, girl, don't do it.
Like, I thank y'all for being very transparent with us, right? And with everybody else. Just to, as Cherie said, let us know the ins and the outs, and not like, girl, don't get married. It's a dead sentence. Like, because we're not like that. You know what I'm saying? And I do really do appreciate it. And we're going to have another single tea where we talk about Jakinda's list. Okay? Because there's stuff on the list. And I need to work this through.
First you need to find it, because apparently you need to know.
I know where it is.
And show us.
I know where the list is.
Okay.
I know where it is. I'm just saying. I haven't.
So I'm gonna find mine too. And that's
a good topic. Y'all should. I know Cherise probably got 50 lists, and that's no shade, because you know she like to write stuff down. She write everything down. She probably wrote that list a million times just because she want to write. In a pad with a pretty pen. She just want to write. So.
Oh, she knows you so well.
So Mia, your coaching business though, literally, can that walk us through this whole single situation?
I mean, it can. It's funny that you asked that. It's because I realized that in coming into my coaching that I am really like big on relationships, like all type of relationships. So like even with my current client, she wanted some career coaching, but it turned into Iyanla Fix My Life. But I feel like when you work on self, then everything else will find its right. And so it could. It could. And I enjoy the work. Which I'm glad you asked me that, because I want to leave with this last question. Well, not question, but maybe comment about the list. And maybe the list could be another show. But like,
I think we should
and this is, yes, the turning is great. Single list, right? But I guess when we write a list, these are the things that we want. But what the list is, God, what do you want from me? And I think that if we think of the list as like, these are the things that I desire, but God, what are you desiring from me? That it could be the list, and it will weed out all of the other stuff that's really not anything that we really need, or like that's really important. Mm-hmm. So I thought about that, and like and then I think somebody else said like going back to your list, maybe every time you have a birthday, and but I'm live. Hold on 1 second. And if not other birthdays, I think I can't remember who else said it, but every time you have an epiphany, or anytime you get something from God, you like, oh, like I see this about me. Let me go and see how that relates to my list. And like, is that something I need to change? Like, am I giving this? Oh, I'm not. Get off my list because I'm not giving it. So how can I expect it? You know? So that's all I thought.
That's good. And what's the name of the kid's book? Kid, put your if you're still on here, put your book name in the chat.
Please.
Hide and seek. Or something like that.
Somebody said put the guys on here too.
Y'all should get some guys.
So I don't know.
That would be amazing.
Put our husbands.
Come on live. I know Chris.
Oh no. I
come on live.
That's nice.
I know Chris.
He's a mess. First of all, he's a mess. So oh my God. I'm gonna ask him. That would be interesting to know. I know Chris will come on.
I know some married guys that would come on.
But even y'all having like single guys, because I think that even like how the genders experience singledom is important too. Like just getting like the other perspective of certain,
I don't know single men.
So
okay, well, if you need recommendations, tell your people to put.
I got recommendations for single men.
People, right? Or if it's some guys who are willing to come on the show, stop playing.
If I can get my Facebook part to work right, then
why are you acting like you 57? Like, what is happening?
Mackenzie and Facebook is.
Look, I am. When it comes to
okay, find your friends on Instagram. Don't look for them on Facebook because you don't know what you're doing with that. Go on Black Planet. What you need?
She don't have enough devices. One, she don't have enough devices to go live on multiple platforms or whatever. She has an Android. That's first and foremost.
Why do you're not?
Secondly, or whatever she needs.
You're not gonna keep look at it. You're not gonna keep coming for her, first of all, because it's wrong with the Android.
Got an iPad, but it's probably not updated, so that's why it gives her the blues. We could probably.
Oh yeah, I'm like don't do it. I have an Apple product. I have a couple of Apple products actually. I don't like them, but I have.
I am going to go because I've had that iPad for a little while now. Anyway, so yes, once again, thank y'all for coming. We've been live. Like literally 42 minutes over the time that we were supposed to end. But this conversation was really, really good. It was really, really needed. Don't be surprised if we call you guys back.
So we might call you back your husbands.
And bring on your husbands too. Because this was really, really good talk. Really good talk. So that's it for me, Sharice. All right, guys. See you in 2 weeks. I don't know what the date is.
I don't know.
We'll post it. See you guys later.
We thank you, Jamia.
Thanks, guys.